Hi Taurus, welcome to your What Do I Need to Do reading for June 14th through July 13th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, as well as the recommend a reader shout out, which goes to Tarot Spirit. Hopefully you get a chance to click on the link in the description box and stop by and show her some much love and support. Some of these have been showing up, or they feel like they could be about family or work. Doesn't necessarily have to be love reading, romantic love reading, just saying. What's for Taurus? What does Taurus need to do? Okay. All right, Taurus. Taurus need to do. So we got the Page of Cups there. Oftentimes that is about things in their beginning stages, or someone could be self-absorbed. There's someone's maybe starting to show interest. There's messages, as it were, of interest. There's flirting, light flirting, beginning, developing feelings. At least 6 is a limit here with cards, but all right. So we've got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Cups, the Four of Cups. So that's perhaps you're disappointed with your love life. Perhaps you're kind of have feelings for somebody and you're kind of stuck on that. Or perhaps in an effort to get your love life up and going, you're dissatisfied and we got the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords here, and there's this feeling that I need to make some changes in my life. Or, you know what, I need to cut off that cheating SOB. Like I still feel a certain kind of way about this person, and I need to resolve that. I need to make some strategic changes in my life because I need to cut things out that aren't good for me. And I need to figure out what I want and move forward with that and make stuff happen for me. We got the Magician, we got the Six of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Wands here. This could be Gemini, Virgo. This could be Leo. This is all about being decisive and charting your path and blazing forward as far as what you want in your love life. We got the Ace of Cups and we got the two Knights here. This is and being decisive and proactive about the choices that you want to make, and finding a relationship that is all about balance and reciprocity. We got the Six of Pentacles here. That's going to give you that just connection and that you want with somebody. So there's the reading. Seriously, like this is you being dissatisfied with your love life because it's like they all cheat. Especially when the ones you meet online. I mean, I'm not saying that, but it's like being kind of stuck on that way of thinking because that's probably largely been your experience. So you're just like, you know, it's probably like this all the time, and it's not. But you're just wanting to make some changes. It feels like because you're dissatisfied with the way things have been going in your love life. Completely understandable. All right, we've got the Two of Wands, the King of Pentacles. Get in there. Queen of Wands. This could be Virgo. This could be Aries. Nine of Wands. Three of Swords. Ace of Wands. Figuring out a way. So maybe this is about one person in particular. That's interesting. Or is it just the dating scene in general? Because it's looking like you need to pull back and make some executive decisions to figure out what you need to do. It looks like this is about you being in a place where you have a lot to offer someone, but you can't find someone that is at your level, that is going to give back what you want, that is going to be able to match what you have to offer. And I don't have any reservations about saying that because, you know, there's the thing, well, it's not all about, yes, it is. Because if it's not, then it's a ministry or a charity. There has to be an even exchange of resources, of time, of whatever. It might not be in the same form. Like, okay, I'll take care of the backyard, you take care of the vacuuming or whatever. But there has to be reciprocity. Otherwise, problems always set in. There has to be an agreement on contribution. Because if it's not clear, or if it's not forthcoming, or somebody drops the ball, that's when problems set in. Time and time and time again, immemorial. All right, so no ministries or charities here. We want a relationship that's reciprocal and generous and thriving. You need to stand your ground, and you need to, it's not you. You've got a lot to offer, but you're not finding people that can give you what you want, especially online. You're not finding what you want online. You're not finding people that can give you what you want, and it's kind of making you jaded, and it's making you not value the connections that maybe because there's a lot of dating. If there's not a lot of dating, there's one person in particular that you've been talking to that you're just kind of feeling like, you know what, this isn't working out, or I suspect that they're cheating on me, and I'm kind of brokenhearted about it, but I know that I need to cut things off with them. I just don't know how, and it's like taking the final steps to move forward in ending things and then going after what you want. Only I think this is also about you figuring out what you want, because time and time again, you've attracted the same type of person. And so you're like, oh, down with love. This could be male or female. But that's not the answer. It's just that you're only catching a certain type of fish with a certain type of net. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of taking its toll because it feels like you're just only attracting one type of person. And then it doesn't work out. And it goes from you meeting someone and then really wanting to invest and connect with them to getting disappointed and thinking you need to cut things off. Why? Because they either cheated or they're just not prioritizing you like you can or you will them. And so it's this constant, it's almost like a serial monogamist. I can't remember where I heard that phrase from, but it's like it's dating someone exclusively, and then that doesn't work out, and then you break up and you dating, not just like dating in general, like that whole kind of just, and I don't want to say you should, but some people do the thing where they have, you know, quite a few people that they're dating and getting to know. It's like a interview selection type process. Some people do it that way. Other people do the serial monogamy thing where you get with somebody and then you kind of hold out hope and you try to work with the relationship, and invariably it disappoints you, or, you know, or it does work out, but it's the same type of person over and over again is what I'm trying to say. So it feels like you think that everybody out there is like that that's all that's out there, and it's not. It's just, for some reason, maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe you're attracting the same people because you keep doing the same things, or you keep, I'm not blaming you, but there's just a real disenchantment with it. And you do need to pull back, and you do need to keep your options open instead of kind of throwing all your eggs in one basket. This is about being more open and not kind of descending on one person or you know what I mean? Like kind of exclusively, Maybe it's that it happens so quickly, because it feels like things get off to a hot and heavy start, and then invariably there's disappointment that sets in. And so it's about keeping things open, and I'm not giving dating advice. I'm just saying the way this feels, it's like the disappointment because it never seems to work out because things are hot and heavy really quickly, and then they don't live up to your expectations. And it's because there hasn't been enough time in getting to know them and vetting the situation. Or somebody's just a jerk and, you know, is fraudulent, presents themselves as one way, and then 3 weeks later they start, you know, or 6 weeks later they're starting to ask for this or that, or starting to forget about this, or they won't leave your house. Oh God, get out of space. Yeah, this is about you knowing what you want, figuring out what you want, knowing what you want, staying open, but guarding and not throwing all your eggs in a, you know, one basket until that person has kind of made it past a few benchmarks for you, you know? Nothing wrong with that. What's this 3? Okay, all right. 2 ones. And honestly, I'm not sitting here going, you know, you need to be more. No, I am not. I get it. I think everybody is familiar with this kind of scenario here. This 2 of Wands. Because the whole reason you're out there doing that is because you want to find somebody that is your equal, that you want that relationship. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a glitch. And I think it's because of there's periods of like intense aloneness, like, well, you know what, I'm just so done with that. But then you miss it, and you miss the connection, and you miss the high of meeting that person, the attraction, and starting to fall for them, and the interest and all that. And then it's like you just, but then it's disappointing. So then all of a sudden, well, yeah, so there's this, but it's not this open. It's not just kind of seeing what develops over time. You know what I mean? All right. And it feels like it's because you need to get clear on what you want, and that you do end up with people, or you're ending up lately with people that are disappointing you, that are falling short, that aren't prioritizing, or flat out cheating, lying, being fraudulent, maybe even stealing from you. What's this Two of Wands about? This is definitely about you needing to cast a wider net and to stay open for much longer instead of becoming exclusive right away or connecting and then having that be your only connection right away. What's this Two of Wands about? Two of Wands about. Yeah. Could be some looking at yourself, some self-reflection that might be needed. Okay. So this is, you know, it could be just, maybe it's because of work. Maybe your work is so itinerant that's why you're constantly having to fly and move. Maybe that's what it is that your schedule is so itinerant that you're never in one place very long, or you don't. And that could be something that's kind of disappointing. Like you're not able to form stable relationships because work is very demanding, or there's something about travel with work here. Maybe this is about you pulling back and not dating everybody seriously or with the intent to become serious while you work on a few things on yourself. Like, will you try a few different things? Maybe, you know, cast a wider net, keep your options open, and do a few tune-ups or something. Work on a few things yourself, be reflective, understand things. And again, I am not sitting here saying, well, you need to, but it's looking like this disappointment, and you're trying to figure out how and figure out what to do. And it might be that there's a few areas, you know, room for a little bit of self-improvement. And let's be honest, that's everybody. This is Queen of Wands about. Queen of Wands. Because this is somebody that forms connections and then is dissatisfied with them and then goes through periods of loneliness and just being by themselves and being kind of closed off or not open. This is Queen of Wands about. The Aries. There's Aries. Finding someone you can trust. Finding a partner that you can trust that's not going to cheat on you and disappoint you. Nine of Wands. Well, we know what the Nine of Wands is about. Staying guarded. But is that because somebody did... Okay, so this flipped out. This, you know what it feels like? It feels like somebody broke your damn heart and you're needing to close that out. Close chat. You know, you need to bring that to closure, because on the one hand, you're picking the same type of person that's going to break your heart, that's going to cheat and not be faithful, and it's because you're still connected somehow to that past trauma or boobies. Someone that did that a while ago. Like, there's just, and I'm sorry, I know I've said this and I'm round and round I go, but it feels like there's this real fixation. Either you're still very much in love with and connected to someone even that has broken your heart by cheating on you, but you're still dating other people, or you keep picking the same type of person because you've never closed out that chapter for someone that did that to you long ago. So you're really closed off, but then you crave the connection and the physical activity and all that, you know. But so it's like you're at a loss as how to connect, because you're very guarded and closed off because somebody broke your heart, something fierce, a while back. So then it's a series of online dating and hookups, but they're not fulfilling. All right. And I just flipped this over, put it over here because it's flipped out while I was talking about that. And it's about closure. It's about putting something to rest and closing out a cycle with it. Okay, right. This Nine of Wands for Taurus. Yeah, this is, you know what, honestly, Taurus, this is looking like there needs to be a period where you kind of pull back and give the relationship or dating thing a break. If it could be too that it's just about keeping things light or superficial, but it seems like you don't do anything light or superficial. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like, well, it's not going to be worth it just to make stupid small talk for somebody I have no interest in. Like I've got to be interested in them. So it's almost like there's no middle ground, because you're like, well, I'm not going out for coffee unless I'm interested. I'm not going to spend the day with someone unless I'm attracted to someone. You know what I mean? It's very either this or this. There's no gray area. There's no kind of putting it out there and exploring your options. So this is looking like this is about you needing to pull back, and this is the working on the self card, working on self issues card, working on issues with yourself card. For me, anyway, by and large, that's how it reads. So, and this is about you standing down, possibly because you're still defensive and you need to close out this chapter. And this is about you taking a break and standing down and kind of leaving things where they're at with this person in particular that broke your heart, if you're still dealing with them, or the whole dating scene in general. What's this Three of Swords about? I think this is about, it feels like somebody that would rather be the kind of, it's like someone that would rather be around And it kind of breaks your heart because it's like this person broke your heart, but you're still negotiating whether you want to be with them or leave, because at the end of the day, there was a love there and they broke your heart. And yet you're still really negotiating the closure with them. You're still really having a hard time closing out that chapter, because this is all about being able to be with somebody you can trust, and nobody else is going to compare because you're still kind of hooked on this person. You're still kind of connected to that one person that broke your heart, and you're trying to move on, but nothing else matches up or compares. And it's because either you're dating and you're still thinking about the other person, or you're still connected to that person somehow, trying to move on, and nobody else is comparing and matching up. And this is about detaching from that person that broke your heart, or even that situation, working on it, processing it emotionally, coming to closure with either that person that you're still with, or long ago, the memory of whatever. But that experience needs to be processed because it's keeping you from forming another authentic, connected, communal, intimate relationship with someone else or someone else's. Like, it feels like it's just been a series of this with the disappointment and kind of abrupt endings, and I'm going to go after what I want, and the dating, and then the disappointment, and the abrupt endings, and because it stems back to someone that you're still very much in love with, or that you just haven't gotten over what happened. There's some kind of hold it still has on you. What's this Ace of Wands? Ace of Wands. And the thing is, the person I'm talking about. That's the thing. You're not going to say, really? No, this isn't one of those where you got to sit down and go into psychotherapy and, well, some lady said I didn't know. It's not that. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That's the thing. You know who I'm talking about. Ace of Wands. Because this is somebody that's still very fresh and current for you. Maybe you haven't seen or talked to them in 3 years, but you could remember the last time you spoke to them like it was yesterday. So you know who this person is. What's this Ace of Wands? Ace of Wands for Taurus. There's Taurus. This, you can't even see that. Good gracious. Right, can I move this up here? So, this, I'm sitting here saying, you gotta let it go, you gotta process, you gotta this and that, because you're gonna keep getting the same type of situations where people don't get back to you and it's not reciprocal, and you want to find equality. Here it is. Here's that relationship that you want, that thriving, connected partnership that you want. But it's not going to get here until you close out that chapter with either the person that broke your damn heart, or that you're still trying to break away from, and then you're going back and forth with, or this. You got one thing in particular coming, but it's not going to show up. You can't get to it unless you're going to be done with this. And I hate that. I hate it when people say that. But, honestly, we've got what's coming, this brand new beginning here with a stable or a thriving, connected, committed, intimate, connection. And we've got you going through major changes. So I hate it when people say, well, unless you do this, it's not going to happen. I get it. I know. But it's easier said than done, because I'm up here trying to figure out how. And yet it's a process, because this isn't just about making decisions. Like up here, right? It's not about making decisions. It's about, don't get mad, but plumbing, this is a process, and this is painful typically. This doesn't just happen overnight. This is profound change because of an experience that basically changed the trajectory of your life or the relationship, whatever. But you can't, this is awareness and not being able to change that. You can't not know what you know. Somebody cheated on you and broke your heart. 3 months, you could be out the door, fine, going to work, everything's functional. But you are forever changed because of that heartbreak. When your heart breaks, you heal differently. Sometimes people prefer to, they handle things a certain way. They act like it didn't happen, or they just give up and whatever. But the point is that you're changed after that, and you can't go back to the innocence or the way things were. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because hopefully you come out of this transformed. Hopefully you walk through the valley of death and you're dry heaving in the corner when you come out, but you've learned something. You're wiser for it. And look at the Nine of Wands and the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who knows their worth and is strategic about who they offer it to, or who they connect with, that it might detract from this. This is somebody that knows their worth, that expects to give what they get because they're willing to give what they get, and they're sitting in a position of being able to decide, they're sitting in a position of authority. Good Lord, I think I need some water. Like, all of a sudden I get all flooded in my head, and I'm bloop, 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 bloop. So, at the end of the day, at the end of all this, what do you need to do? Don't get mad. You need to grieve. This isn't about dating until you find the right one or figuring out what you want to do. This is about you closing out the chapter that started all this. This is about you grieving. This is about you changing, about accepting the ending, about closing out this chapter. So yes, because this is what's coming for you, get ready, because we got a new relationship, a passionate new beginning with somebody that you're going to feel that connection with. This is the ideal partnership. So, but it's about you putting whatever this, ending this either active connection with this person that you've been going back and forth with for years, and it's been a dogfight because you're like, I'm not getting needs met, and there's this back and forth because someone either keeps cheating and they keep disappointing you and breaking your heart, or they're just not wanting to settle down, and there's this constant bickering and cutting off, and someone's being a bitch, and there's an unexpected ending and a fighting, but then you get back together. That if that's what this is, you need to end it. And a lot of times we still stay fighting because we don't want to accept the inevitable. It's like, we've tried counseling, we've tried this, and it's like, at what point did you not realize, like, why haven't you realized yet that no matter what you do, this isn't going to work? And the answer is because it hurts, and I don't want to accept the fact that what I already know is that there is no fixing this. But I feel like if I keep fighting for this, if I keep making excuses, if we keep arguing, if I keep then there's still hope, because, well, we haven't tried this yet, or we haven't tried, but no matter what you do, you're still Three of Swords. And because deep down you know that it's just not, this is not a trustworthy, solid, stable situation. You can offer that and give that, but you're not with somebody, or you haven't been with people that can give you that back. And you need to start guarding what you give people, and guarding your emotions, and guarding and being patient, and not trying to make someone that doesn't really suit you or can give you what you want, trying to make that person be able to do it. Because that's where the disappointment comes from, is picking the wrong people. It's the damnedest thing. It's like, okay, well, at least I know this person's going to disappoint me, instead of actually taking a chance on someone that, oh God, there's a potential there. Holy cow! Because what if your equal disappoints you? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'd rather somebody that, oh God, they're just so, I can't trust them in this and that. Well, at least that type of person is disappointing me, which makes me feel a little better because I'm not that, right? But what if you get somebody that is of your caliber, that's a badass like you are? Like, look at this. We got, we got somebody ready to offer something here. You're pretty darn stable and decisive and organized. I mean, you got, everything else is going great. If you meet someone like that and it doesn't work out, oh God. I mean, that's so, it's almost like, well, at least this, person that wasn't very nice or whatever, well, at least it didn't work out with them. But oh gosh, can you imagine if you met somebody that was really, really something and it didn't work out? That's heartache, Just consider that. Okay, all right. God, it's going to be a half-hour reading, Taurus. Confirmation for Taurus. Taurus. Don't throw it at me. So everything I just said, that's what this is. We got the Four of Cups right here, and we got the Four of Cups right here. This is just, you poor thing. You're probably going round and round. This could be, male or female, but just, you probably know everything I already said, but it's just hard because you're going through it, and it's one of those things where you can't, even though if you know it in your head, your heart feels differently, you still go through the motions, because you're just not done yet. And it's not, you can't let go of it until it lets go of you. We have all been there. But this is just you still needing to process and work things out, and it's going to take as long as it takes. Snapshot for Taurus, please. Cards everywhere. It's going to work out. We've got emotions, we've got being recognized, recognition, emotional recognition, like someone understanding you and how you feel. And this is a mature or later in life relationship. So that could be what's at issue here, is that someone you're two fundamentally different people. And there could be a disconnect as far as you two understanding each other emotionally. This is also saying that emotions are really highlighted right now. There's a real emphasis on feelings and recognition of those feelings. All right. I think I got this either. What's this death card about? And then I'm going to do dice, and then we'll be done, I promise. I think this is the longest reading I've ever done. That's not a private one. What's this death card? Yeah, okay. Same thing with the Queen of Swords up here. Where is she? Just making decisive cuts, cutting things off, actively cutting things off, but also allowing for the process for it to, you know, okay, I've made the cuts. Now I just got to kind of work through how I feel and work through things and take actions that are necessary, like changing our names out of this account, or, you know, but this could be all about cutting things off and not sharing information anymore, being strategic with communication, if at all, taking decisive action and steps towards what needs to be done. What else for Taurus? What else for Taurus? All right, so we've got the Six of, wait a minute, it was like that. Okay, Six of Wands and Three of Swords. Yeah. It is time for you to move forward in grieving. It is time for you to move beyond your grieving and get to, and that is no, after all that has been said and done here, that's no tall or small feat here. I mean, that's a tall order, because it seems like you've just been going through it, especially if this is a mature relationship, if this is a relationship that's been around for a while. And we got the Nine of Wands here. This is about having been through it time and time and time and time and time again, and not being able to quite let go. And this is about being able to move through and past the grief. And again, it's a process. And this is probably saying where you're at right now is that you're in the thick of it. And there's probably frustration and disappointment, because it's like, my God, how long am I going to keep having to? And I feel like it's one of those things that it's going to take as long as it's going to take as long as it takes. It's going to be done when it's done, because this is not something you can just get over. This is something, it's like, you know what? I can't let go of it until it lets go of me. And it's literally one of those things that's just going to have to work itself out. You can take the steps, you can go to counseling, you can talk, you can this and that, but you're still going to be processing subconsciously and spiritually and emotionally as well. So while your head might know something, your heart's still working it out. So I think you kind of need to be patient with yourself and understand that there's going to be a lot of things you're going to be feeling and learning and understanding about this relationship. And it is going to be a process, and it's going to take time. But bonus, yay, this is coming when, don't know, but get ready, because this is coming, this is out there. But as far as what you're doing in the immediate, like next 3 to 6 months, this is you making the next necessary changes, cuts, decisions while you're grieving and going through the valley of this. I'm sorry, Taurus. I wish this was less complicated and easier. I wish you were done already, because you are going through it. Seriously, like, this is a lot. So I'm sorry. I wish you healing with this, truly. I know it's frustrating. I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care.